Good afternoon, everybody, and it's great to see so many people have joined today's session. Simon here from careermap.co.uk, and welcome to our third live webinar today for day 4 of National Apprenticeship Week. Today we are joined by the team from BT. The guys will be talking about their exciting apprenticeship opportunities and how you can potentially join them. Before we begin, if you can look to the right of the presentation screen, you will see a chat facility. We are live, so ask any questions at any time. Feel free to make comments and ask questions about the presentation, and there'll be time at the end for a full Q&A session. So guys, many thanks for joining us today. Before you begin the presentation, could you introduce yourselves and give us a bit of an overview of your roles within BT?
Thanks, Simon. Just to check you can hear me okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, great stuff. So thank you for that. My name is Kate Gregory. I know it does say Hayley, I think, on the screen, but I'm actually covering for my team colleague Hayley today. She's actually running an assessment centre today, so I'm stepping in to cover for her. So my name is Kate Gregory, and I work in the early careers team at BT. So my role involves recruitment of early careers individuals, like apprentices, obviously, also graduates, and also student placement schemes, industrial placements, that sort of thing. So anything early careers based is me. And I've been at BT for about 3.5 years now, and I've been working in recruitment since I got into the workforce, really, which is quite a long time ago, about 2003. So that's me. I'm just going to pass over to our current apprentices who are going to introduce themselves as well. So Amin, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Brilliant. Yeah, so my name's Amin. I'm a sales apprentice. I'm in my 3rd year now, so I joined in September 2018. I work in global, and I'm doing a B2B sales degree on the side. And so I finish in September of 2021. So not long left, but yeah, it's been a really great experience ever since I've joined BT. I was in 6th form before, so I had no actually prior work experience. I'd done a marketing internship for a month before I joined BT, but no real concrete work experience. So it's been a great experience so far, and yeah, looking forward to more.
Excellent. Thank you, Amin. Amrita, do you want to go next?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, yeah, so my name is Amrita, and I'm currently a network engineer apprentice at BT, and my apprenticeship is a level 4, and I joined in September 2019.
Lovely. Excellent. And Umair?
Thanks. Hi guys, my name's Umair. I'm currently a software engineering degree apprentice doing a digital and technological solutions degree. I'm currently working in our IT OpenReach team, which essentially is supporting all the software and systems that our amazing OpenReach engineers use for fault finding in your broadband at home, for example. So yeah, that's me currently. Really great time at BT. Been here for just over 1 year, and I think it's been an amazing journey so far.
Fantastic, thank you. So that's all of our apprentices today. You'll be hearing more from them a little bit later on. So I'm just going to run you through a presentation now. So hopefully everyone can see the screen. So I'm just going to take you through. Please do note any questions you have, and we'll have an opportunity to go through those at the end. So apprentices at BT. So why would you choose BT for your career journey? So we're just going to talk a bit more about BT and the BT group. So we do say, don't think of us as BT. We've also got BT, EE and PlusNet within our portfolio. Also, as you've just heard, we've also got OpenReach, and OpenReach are our wholly owned subsidiary. So OpenReach own and build the network that makes phone lines and broadband happen. So obviously very crucial, especially at the moment when we're all locked in. So OpenReach do that not only for us here at BT, but also for the other communication providers as well. So a huge, vast business. OpenReach are very busy at the moment. So BT, we're more than just a broadband company. So some of you may or may not know, we're also quite heavily involved with NHS. So 999 calls, we do handle those sort of millions of calls that come in on an annual basis. Also air traffic control, contactless payments, and even just booking that Uber. Not that we're doing much of that at the moment, but none of that would happen without BT and without our graduates and apprentices. BT is global. So BT is actually present in 180 countries worldwide. So very much a global business, helping to create, collaborate, and communicate better than ever. Over the last 10 years, BT have been the largest technology sector research and development investor in the UK. So quite impressively, we have filed 100 inventions per year, which actually ranks us third out of all UK businesses. And finally, some of our early careers employees have literally been keeping your broadband going during lockdown. I'm sure, you know, if you've been out and about on a walk, you've seen sort of open reach vans and BT vans buzzing around. You know, we are key workers in that respect. So keeping broadband going has been extremely important in these times. So find out why you should think about an apprenticeship at BT, the path you never considered. So just going to move on to the next slide. So BT, we're actually rated the 4th best provider of apprenticeships in the UK, actually #1 within the private sector. And that's a new accolade, actually. We only found out about that a few months ago. We do offer apprenticeships from level 2 up to level 6. So I think you heard our apprentices talking earlier about what level apprenticeship they're on. So it's anything from 2 to 6. We have all of them listed on the career site, and it does explain to you a bit more about what that means to be a level 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. It does really mean that hopefully we have got something for everyone. You've probably heard it before, but we'll say it again. Being an apprentice is the chance to earn while you learn. Obviously, you know, you are working hard and fulfilling a role, and it is a really crucial role, but you're also learning and getting a qualification at the same time as earning a salary. You also get access to great benefits. So everybody in the business gets free broadband. You'll also get discounted BT Mobile and BT Sport. Also, you get free tickets to see things being filmed at the BT TV studios. Unfortunately, again, there's not much of that happening or any of that happening for quite a while now, but hopefully as we progress into 2021, that will be back up and running again. Also, BT has a really, really heavy charitable focus. So everybody gets 3 volunteering days a year where they can give back to the community. So whether that's actually something you're individually passionate about, it might be a charity that you support as an individual, you've got an interest in, or it could be something you guys would organise as a team in your work teams. So yeah, you do get 3 paid days where you can actually give back to the community. I know some of my colleagues did some work with the homeless. Myself, I did a Macmillan bake sale last year in the summer between lockdowns. So yeah, it's really good opportunity to give something back. Innovation is at the forefront of what we do here at BT. We actually give it 2 weeks for a new starter to say to us, oh, I didn't know BT did that. And certainly I learn different things all the time about what BT does, and just so how vast the offering is here at BT. BT, being an apprentice is a real career. So our apprentices actually started with us 20 to 30 years ago and are still working here now. And some of them are even directors. And actually myself, I work in the recruitment team. And one of my directors, he did join as an apprentice. I'm not sure how many years ago, but yeah, quite a few years ago. So it is a really, really solid career path that you would enter as an apprentice. Cool. So just to talk about inclusion, diversity and inclusion is a really, really key focus. It has been always, but I think at the moment it is something that has accelerated over sort of recent years and recent months. So we have different sort of plans that we have in place. So Ethnicity Rapid Action Plan is one of them. We have various networks as well that are run by employees for employees. So BT, it's crucial that our people reflect the diversity of our communities and our countries across the world. And we know that that having people employed from different walks of life makes us a more creative and innovative company. It gives us different ways of thinking and means we have different ways of solving problems for our customers as well. This variety of experience, culture and background allows our teams to develop innovative products and services which make a difference. So yeah, the Ethnicity Rapid Action Plan, or ERAP as we call it internally, does include various different initiatives. So it's accelerating diversity within the business, ensuring that our ethnic minorities get access to leadership skills. It includes reverse mentoring for all of our senior staff and educating and empowering all of our employees. So yeah, that's just to give you a bit of a snapshot. In terms of the partnerships that we have, we've got partnerships with numerous community organisations. Just to give you an example of that, we've got Business Disability Forum and Employers for Carers. Cool, just moving on to the next slide. So here are a few myth-busting comments. So these are actually taken from real life candidates who have asked these questions. So I'm just going to go through them. An apprenticeship doesn't lead to a full-time job. Absolutely, it does. I think you've heard our apprentices speak already, but once you roll off the program, you can roll into a full-time job, and there's lots and lots of options available for you after the apprenticeship. I think with an opportunity here at BT, it's endless. That it's such a huge business, over 100,000 employees. So it's a really good opportunity to continue up that career ladder that you're already in, or you could look to move into a different career. So definitely it does lead to endless opportunities here at BT. It's for people that couldn't get into university. Absolutely not. I think an apprenticeship is a path in its own right. It's definitely a valid career path. I think going to university is a fantastic opportunity, but obviously you can get the qualification while you work and avoid paying those university debts as well, so that's always good. Apprenticeships are only for manual jobs. We have all sorts of apprenticeships actually. We'll go through what they are in a minute. There are some manual roles, but there's also sort of customer services and data driven roles as well, so there's quite a wide variation of different apprenticeships that you could choose. Only earn the minimum wage. We do pay above that, and there is a really extensive benefits package as well. So definitely it is a very competitive apprenticeship scheme that we offer. I'll only be making tea or coffee. That's definitely not true, and I'm sure the guys on the call will vouch for that shortly. But you are sort of given a lot of responsibility as an apprentice. It is a really busy role here at BT. Everyone I know is really busy, and it is a big role that you will be given. So yeah, it's not a case of you just doing the jobs that nobody else wants to do and making tea and coffee, for sure. You need to know somebody that works at BT. No, you don't. Everybody applies via the same route. So all the applications come via the same channels, regardless of who you know at BT. You won't get any qualifications. All of the apprentice schemes do lead to good, solid qualifications. And absolutely, we do encourage a good split in terms of gender diversity as well. So yeah, it's not just for boys. Cool. Just moving on to the next slide. So this is going to move on and talk about what programs that we have and talk about the application process as well. And if you've got any questions on this, I'm sure we'll have time in a little while to answer those. Okay, so these are the programs we have available. Hopefully you guys can all see that, but I'll just run through the different programs. And as you can see, it does illustrate which level of apprenticeship it is. So we've got customer service, electronics technician, power engineer, radio and rigging technician, field engineer, data analyst, cyber security, sales specialist, security software engineer, and network engineer. So we did release a large batch of our apprenticeship roles at the end of November. So we do have roles available on the BT Early Careers site at the moment. Some of these roles may have been taken down because we've already had quite a lot of applications through, but don't worry, we do release further roles as the year goes on. Really, we may have more opportunities that do go live on our site. Locations that we cover, so vast array of different locations actually, so I'll just run through them. So Aberdeen, Belfast, Birmingham, Bristol, Cardiff, Cheltenham, Glasgow, Darlington, Gloucester, Ipswich, London, Manchester, Reading, Southend and Torquay. So yeah, quite a lot of different locations there. Starting salaries for an apprenticeship will range from £16,422 per year. And once you're in role, your salary does get reviewed on an annual basis as part of the annual pay review. All of our apprenticeship schemes are permanent jobs. So as long as you complete your apprenticeship successfully, you'll roll off into a job with us. All employees have access to corporate discounts, free broadband and discounted BT products and services. And you can even share those with family and friends as well. So I know from my own point of view, I'm always getting emails through with different discounts all the time. Obviously, we're in a bit of a lockdown at the moment, so cinemas aren't open. But yeah, once they're up and running, you can actually get sort of 50% off cinema tickets and lots of other sort of travel vouchers, retail vouchers as well. So the benefits scheme is amazing. Just to add that applications do close down as soon as we've got enough candidates. So it has been quite popular this year. So we are getting quite a lot of applications through. Don't worry, we will release other roles. But yeah, if you do want to apply to us, it's best to apply just when you can, sooner rather than later. So this is the application process. So we've tried to make it as straightforward as possible for everybody. You don't actually need a CV or a cover letter. So don't worry if you haven't got a CV or a cover letter, because we won't ask for one. There will be a section if you do have one where you can absolutely upload it, but it's not part of the criteria or the application process. It might be something that we can use further into the process or once you've already been offered and accepted into the job. So all you need to fill in is your basic information about yourself, qualification check if there is some qualifications that you need for the particular role. And again, that depends on the apprenticeship that you're applying for and what level it is. So it's always best to check the job advert. So once you've gone through the application, you'll probably get an automated email quite quickly. So it's always best to check your junk folders because sometimes they can end up in there. So make sure you're getting those emails, and that will let you know what to do for the next stages of the process. And it does vary just depending on what apprenticeship you're applying for. If it's a customer service, you may well get a telephone interview as part of your process, or you might get online testing. So these are cognitive ability tests. So they're fairly straightforward. I know it sounds a bit daunting, online tests. I mean, we're very much in an online world at the moment with recruitment. All of our assessment centres are online, and our sort of hiring process is pretty much online for interviews and assessments. So yeah, you can go to sites like Barclays Life Skills if you want to have a little practice. But yeah, I think that their online tests aren't too difficult, hopefully, so you'll find them fairly straightforward. You can apply to the apprenticeship campaign only one time per year. If you are unsuccessful, you can reapply, and we have had candidates who are employed by BT now that may have not got through the process on their first go. It might have taken a little bit longer, so that's absolutely fine if you want to come back to us at a later date. Video interviews. So video interviews, again, they can sound quite daunting, but actually, you can practice those. You can pre-record yourself on your mobile phone. There's lots and lots of advice out there online, and you'll just be asked normal interview questions. So you do have a minute or so to take in the question before you do need to give your answer. So yeah, nothing to worry about at all with video interviews, and you can definitely sort of get a friend or family member to help you out a little bit if you want to have a practice before. The final stage of our process is the assessment centre. So if once you're successful through an assessment centre, then that could lead to a job offer after that stage. So the live assessment centres are actually virtual this year. We did used to run them face-to-face. So normally we'd invite 10 of you along to one of our local offices, and you'd take part in a series of exercises and activities. It's normally an interview, a presentation, a group exercise, those sorts of things really. So nothing to worry about. At the moment, obviously, we're running them virtually. We have started already to run our graduate scheme assessment centres virtually. So we're using an all-inclusive platform at the moment for those. So you'll just be given a link and log into details and you'll join us on the platform. And it's really relaxed. We welcome you in. It'll be myself or one of my colleagues that's running the virtual assessment centre, and it is a case of just getting to know everybody. You'll get to meet some managers within the area that you've applied to, and you'll also get to meet some current apprentices that are currently doing the scheme that you've applied to. So it is a really informative day where you'll be made to feel at ease, because we want to get the best out of everyone on the day. So yeah, hopefully you'll all find that a really pleasant experience. Cool. I'm just moving on to offer you some tips now. And I know when we do speak to the apprentices a bit later, our current apprentices, they might have some other tips from their experiences. But yeah, here's some tips that might help. So number one tip is be yourself. I think it is really easy when you go into an interview situation to be more of a robotic version of yourself, but I think it's good to relax and let your personality shine through a little bit. Obviously, you know, during an assessment centre, it is all on video, so it's good to make an impact and let your personality shine through. You know, you're going to be up against some of the candidates there, so it's always good to sort of, you know, offer your personality forward. We're really wanting to meet the real you on the day. We do meet thousands of candidates with our schemes. We do recruit lots of candidates each year for grads, apprentices and student placement schemes. So we're experts really in being able to tell if something isn't quite right. And sometimes candidates do get really worried about something that just isn't a big deal to us. So please don't get too worried or too nervous. We just want you to relax during the process. Also, just to add, you know, apprenticeships at BT might not be for everyone. It is a two-way street. It's not just about us making decisions on you. You know, you might decide that we're not for you, we're not the right match for what you're looking for. It's all about finding that right partnership, that role that fits well to your needs and what you're looking for. So secondly, do your research. You'd actually be surprised how often we say that, even to our experienced hires when we're hiring candidates at management level even. It is really basic, but definitely do your research. I think when you're applying for jobs, don't just apply for any job. I think definitely have a think about, I know it's difficult when you're really young and inexperienced, but have a think about where your passion lies, what you enjoy, what you're interested in, before you apply to the jobs. And definitely look into BT Group and find out all about us if you're being invited to an assessment centre or a video interview. It's always really good to know all about the business and what you're applying to, as you might be asked questions about that. Cool. And just moving on to the next bit, which is practice. And yeah, I mentioned this a few times before, and I don't think I can mention it often enough, really. It is so important to get a bit of practice. It can feel a little bit strange when you're doing a video interview, but I think the more you practice that, the more comfortable with it you get. I know from my point of view, before we went digital, about a year ago, we were doing everything face to face. So we'd be meeting candidates like yourselves in an assessment centre, and it is a bit of a learning curve. I found it a little bit difficult to go from, you know, doing it all face to face to over videos all the time. But once you practice, you get so used to it, and it does feel quite natural. So I think, you know, the first couple of interviews you have, you know, if you apply to different roles elsewhere, you might find you're a bit nervous on the first one or two, but then you kind of get into the swing of it a little bit, and it does really help. There's so many tools out there as well on all of the job boards, such as Indeed or Monster. You might find little practice tools on those as well. So definitely so much available to help you online. As I've mentioned, hopefully you might have somebody like a friend or a family member that might be able to help you. They might be willing to lend you a hand and do a role play in terms of interview techniques. It does really help if you do that. Part of our process, so this could be for the video interview or for the assessment centre, we do sometimes ask you questions. So they might be competency-based questions where we're asking you to think of an example. So it might be where you've demonstrated teamwork or something like that. So the examples that we look for don't need to be from a job. We do understand in early careers that not all of you will have had a job before. So it could be from education, it could be from the extracurricular. So yeah, just it's always good to have a few examples in your mind that you might use during an interview like that. And finally, just talk to the people around you, your peers. If you have friends who have applied for roles, you know, get their experiences, get their advice is always what I would recommend as well. Cool. Okay, so that is the end of the presentation. I think what we're going to do next is we're going to chat to our apprentices before you guys get the chance to ask any questions yourself. So, Amin, I'm sorry, I'm going to pick on you again to go first, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I'm going to just ask you a few questions, okay? So first of all, how did you hear about the apprenticeship role at BT?
So whilst I was in sixth form, we were always told to obviously apply for universities and whatnot. But my tutor then actually showed me a website. I can't remember what the website is, but it was through Google, and I think it was on the government website, where they were showing like a list of apprenticeships that were being offered and the level. So that's why I was saw BT and a range of other ones, and I was just sort of applying to different ones.
Fantastic, good. Yeah. So what level was the apprenticeship role that you applied for, Amin?
It was level 6, so it's a full degree.
So that's a full degree apprenticeship. Brilliant. Okay. And what was the application process like for you?
Yeah, it was really smooth, to be fair. So obviously I did the application process, filled out a couple questions, and then at the time, I think I did 2 tests. So there was a situational based test, and I think it was a cognitive abilities test as well.
Yeah,
and that was really straightforward. yeah. So, and obviously BT actually offers some example tests just to get you in the mood. And then, yeah, the video interview and assessment center were really straightforward. Obviously, at the time when I done it, the assessment center was in person and very helpful. Actually, at the assessment center, they always offer buddies, which is a really good experience for me because they sort of just put you at ease. And I know even in the virtual assessment centers, they still have that. So it's a really good process and fairly straightforward, to be fair.
Brilliant. Thanks, Amin. That's good to hear. Yeah, we do actually still have virtual buddy breakout rooms. Unfortunately, we don't offer sandwiches and coffees like we used to in the actual breakout rooms, but there's still a friendly face in there to greet candidates in and out of exercises. So that's all good. Thanks, Amin. So I'll come back to you in a little while. Amrita, can you talk me through how you heard about the apprenticeship role?
Yeah, so it was about like 2018. I was in year 13, and so I was completing my A-levels and getting ready for like my mock exams. And at the same time, I was also like applying to like 10 apprenticeships every day, like anything that I found, like I was looking into it and applying. And I just got really tired of like not hearing back. And then at that point, my friend had said like, oh, my dad works for BT, like, and he told me that they have apprenticeships and that they're hiring right now. So that's how I found out. And then I just applied.
Fantastic. That's good. That's interesting. You should say, actually, when you apply for roles you don't hear back. I think, you know, it's really good to get candidates prepared for that sort of side of it, because I think, you know, certain candidates I've spoken to have applied for so many jobs and sometimes you don't hear back and it can be really frustrating. So you've just got to really keep positive, haven't you, and just keep at it, I think.
Yeah, I think getting like all these rejections from all these apprenticeships and not hearing back from them is kind of what made me more like, at first it did like demotivate me and I was like, oh, maybe I just have to go to uni. But I kind of was like, no, like I'm not going to let it get to me, because I want this for my career and I worked hard for it and I'm lucky that I got one.
Absolutely. Well, that's a really good example of perseverance pays off, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. And Maya, can we come to you and just how you sort of found out about your apprenticeship scheme?
Yeah, definitely. So I was in year 13 at the time, and I was just applying for apprenticeships left, right, center. I had no plans to go to uni whatsoever. Did not bother with the UCAS application either. And I actually found the BT apprenticeship on one of the apprenticeship sites. I signed up to their newsletter, and they would give job alerts every week. And that's where I actually stumbled across the BT apprenticeship and decided, yep, this is something I want to do, and I just applied for it.
Fantastic. So university just wasn't an option for you at all then?
No, yeah, I didn't think of it whatsoever at all. Sure. It was never my cup of tea.
And no regrets?
No regrets whatsoever. Best thing to have ever happened to me so far.
Excellent. Lovely. And can you talk me through a bit more about what your apprenticeship is and talk through how the study works with that?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm on a level 6 software engineering apprenticeship, which means I'm obviously working in software teams. The degree I'm doing on the side is also a digital and technology solutions degree, which is kind of a computer science degree. The only difference is more adapted to industry and for employers like BT and others. So in terms of how it works, working and studying at the same time, we are given kind of block days every month or every 2 months, just purely for uni. So we have uni lectures all day on those days, and we don't work at all. So we're given time off work. But alongside that as well, we actually are given study days every week. So I have one study day weekly on a Monday. So on that study day, essentially, I can just do all my assignments. I can do some personal development, and I can, catch up on some work that I'm behind on for university without having to log on for work. So that does really help you kind of not pile up your assignments for university as well. And for the rest of the 4 days, it's working in my team as normal, 9 to 5, despite it being virtually, obviously during this pandemic. So yeah, that's how it works with my scheme.
Brilliant, brilliant. So I would imagine your university work and lectures and things like that, is it all sort of virtual now?
Exactly, yeah. So everything is virtual. All of our uni lectures, obviously all of our meetings for work, pretty much everything is virtual for the time being.
Excellent. Do you still get to see fellow university students, or?
Yeah, definitely. We actually have a WhatsApp group chat in which we're chatting regularly, and also we have a few assignments that we have to do as a group. So we kind of catch up on Microsoft Teams, and yeah, there's a good bond in our class. So yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Excellent. Thank you. We're going to move back to you, Amin, now, if that's okay. So would you mind sort of talking through a bit about how your study works? I think you get a day a week as well, don't you? But could you just talk through yours?
Yeah, sure. So I work 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. So I usually get my study day on a Friday. In the third year, it's actually changed. So before it would be on a Monday, but our manager's usually quite flexible when we can actually choose it. So yeah, it usually takes place on a Friday, 4 days a week. I'll then do my usual sales work. So we've been placed in teams. My degree is actually a business to business sales degree. So it's a full level 6 degree that comes with it. And sort of the concept is we learn different sales methodologies that we apply to customers and how we can sort of drive value for our respective companies. And that's actually quite interesting because when at uni, within my cohort, we had a lot of different people from different companies. So we had people from Aon, where else? Royal Mail, for example. Obviously, we have a few BT people. So a lot of different companies. It's not just BT people. So you're still getting that university experience. And, within apprenticeships, people sort of get put off because they maybe want a bit of the university experience as well. And you still do get that. Every time we had workshops, it was on campus and it was a really great experience. So yeah, that's how it sort of works. And the idea is to, whatever we sort of learn at our university degree, we sort of apply it at work and sort of use it to our advantage, I suppose.
Brilliant. I mean, it certainly sounds like the best of both worlds there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, usually apprenticeships are sort of perceived as, you're just working, but with a degree apprenticeship, you're getting pretty much the best of both worlds. You're getting the university experience, but you're also getting the work experience at the same time. So for me, what is better? You're getting paid to learn, and for me, that's a dream.
Fantastic. And just moving to yourself, Amrita, if you want to talk through your apprenticeship and how the study part works.
Yeah, so same here. Like my manager at the start, he was very flexible with what days that I wanted to have my study day. So I kind of chose Friday because it's for work, it's kind of a quiet day. So I wouldn't have that much to catch up on Mondays and it wouldn't overwhelm me. So my study day has always been on a Friday, 9 to 5, and I don't need to log into Teams or anything. So I can just focus on my studies. And every few months, I have a week's period of virtual, well, now it's virtual college, but before I used to actually go to the site, and I would stay there for a week. So we would get like accommodation and everything. And it was nice because, you know, I made so many friends, and then obviously the pandemic hit, and now we've all got like a group chat, and we kind of always help each other. And yeah, so it's nice. On my study days, like I'm always doing the lectures or doing my project work. I have 3 projects that I need to work on. And yeah, so it's quite chill. Like your employer kind of understands like that you need that day, and so they don't bug you at all, and they kind of let you have your own time.
That's brilliant. Great stuff, great stuff. So Amrita, while I've got you, we'll just move on now, because obviously we're working in a virtual world, and we're all sort of getting used to working from home, a lot of us. I think those of the BT colleagues that are sort of essential workers and have to sort of work out in the field are sort of remaining in their jobs as normal. But like myself, I mean, I'm working from my living room for the past year. And can you, Amrita, talk about that, how it's affecting you virtually in this sort of virtual environment in your job?
Yeah, so since the start, like as my network engineering role it's been like on the laptop, so I don't have to actually go to site. When we first were hit with the pandemic, and you know, I started adjusting from in home working, it was a bit hard because I was so used to waking up and doing the commute and seeing my team members. And I think being like very new in the company, it was hard because I don't really know my team that much as well. There wasn't really, because I was only there for 6 months. So it was really hard, but I think I've increased in my personal skills, and my communication skills have increased because I'm always on training webinars, and I'm having to communicate even more with my team, and there's constant meetings, but there's also more support now as well. Every day I have a support call with my team, and if I need help, like they're there to help me, which is really nice, because they understand like my position as well. Like as an apprentice, like 6 months into my apprenticeship, like I can't even if I wanted to go into a site and shadow an engineer, I couldn't do it. So they understand like that background, and they're really helpful with like they will literally pull up pictures from Google Images and be like, okay, let me annotate this for you, and this is what that is. And it has been hard, I mean, for everyone, but I think I've definitely got used to it now.
I think you're so right. I think, you know, you do learn additional skills working in a virtual environment. I mean, definitely for me, there are, you know, I'm much more confident with online virtual things and platforms as well. You know, I'm having to sort of get used to dealing with a lot of different platforms on a daily basis. So you do tend to build different skills, don't you? So that's always good.
Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant stuff. And Amaya, can we move to you next and just talk about your role and how you're sort of coping within the virtual world that we're in?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in the beginning, it was very different. Let's say, adapting. Of course, you don't really consider your home to be a place of work, so it's kind of hard to at first differentiate the difference between the two. But eventually, as time went on, and as I kind of made sure that I created a structure in my routine, making sure that I had a dedicated workspace in a quiet place in my house, I think that helped quite a lot. And over the months, it kind of became normal, and it is pretty normal for me now. But yeah, it was tough in the beginning. I'm sure in fact, everyone did find it slightly challenging in the beginning, but yeah, it got better in the end.
Fantastic, thank you. I think that's so true, isn't it? I think you do get used to it very quickly. You do adapt, but yeah, hopefully soon we'll be back in the sort of office environment. And just moving back to yourself, Amin. I know you work in sales. I'm not sure if it's affected you a whole lot, sort of not being in that sort of office with your team colleagues. And how has that been for you?
Yeah, it has. Well, I joined obviously BT in September 2018. I was based in the head office for a year, and then I moved to a different office. So I was really getting that sort of experience of working with the team members, commuting every day. So it was really different for me because I had only worked from home for a few days here and there before that pandemic hit. So it definitely hit me, especially within my role. It's very customer facing. We always get that. We sometimes go take trips to customer sites. So it was definitely very different. Everything moved to virtual. And I think as time sort of went by, you sort of just got used to it. So that was all right, I suppose. It was definitely, for the first few months, it was very hard in terms of productivity, but yeah, I had to sort of create a structure. And very luckily, obviously working for BT, they're really good in terms of taking care of their employees. So they actually supported us with monitors and just the different tools you need to actually work from home. And they sort of bought that during the early stages of the pandemic and delivered it to our addresses. Everyone in my team actually got that benefit. So it's a really good place to actually work for, and always sort of taking care of the employees. So I think from there, I really just got going in terms of working from home and sort of got used to it as time went by.
Brilliant. Thank you. Just conscious of time, Simon, so I can pass back to you for the Q&A, or we can continue on.
Yeah, no, sure. We've had quite a few questions coming in, some very specific ones. I'll start with Ben. He says, I'm looking for a career in something with computers. What would you suggest for Ben?
I could answer that. I think that's
yes,
a really good question. Yeah, I'm doing software engineering, so I'd assume that's what you're maybe looking at. It's heavily involved with computers. My day-to-day job essentially is working on programs, on software, working with code, working with programming languages. So for example, in my current team, we're using Visual Basic for applications. In uni, we're currently studying Java. We were studying Python last year in our previous module. So in this role that I am in, there's a lot of coding. And it's not just specifically programming and coding that we do. It's a whole host of things across the software lifecycle. So you'd be exploring rotations across the board in software, for example, testing, QA and testing, technical delivery, coding itself, software support, etc. So you'll be covering the whole spectrum when it comes to software. And I think if that's something you're interested in, this is the perfect role for you.
Excellent, thanks for that. Kelly actually asked a question about AI, saying, do BT or any of the other companies that you guys own, EE, etc., do you have any roles in AI, or is there any plans for this in the future?
I think that's another good question. I personally want to go into AI and machine learning. And the opportunity that I've seen in BT for artificial intelligence specifically is massive. Just recently, I think a couple of years ago, BT actually created its own center of excellence for artificial intelligence specifically. So we have a dedicated team that works with AI. And there are other teams as well that deal with artificial intelligence. And we have the possibility of exploring those rotations as software engineers. And of course, I have expressed my interest in AI, and my team and my managers are really supportive in that, and they're actually going out to help me kind of shape my career towards that side of things. So yeah, definitely, there's a huge scope for artificial intelligence for apprentices in BT.
Are there a lot more job roles in AI coming on, because it's marked as the fourth industrial revolution, isn't it?
Exactly.
A lot of growth in that sector.
Yeah, there's huge potential, not just across BT, but across the industry for artificial intelligence. So yeah, it's definitely an exciting place to be working in.
Fantastic. Michael's got a very specific question as well, saying, how long does it take to get an email back from Openreach about assessment centre?
Okay, I can take that one.
Sure.
It's a very good question. Hopefully you can all hear me. It is a very good question. It does vary, to be honest with you. So I think what you'll find is when you first apply, things might move really quickly because it's very automated. So you'll go from your application status into all of the online automated testings fairly quickly, and then you might find that you're in a holding bay for a little bit, because at the moment we haven't got all of our assessment centres booked in at this stage, which is quite normal, I think. So we launch the campaign and then we get people applying and going through the stages, but if you're a candidate that goes through the stages really quickly, you might find you're at that point of being hopefully selected for an assessment centre but not quite got the invite yet. And yeah, that sometimes does take a bit of time. It depends which you've applied for, but yeah, we haven't really got our apprenticeship Openreach assessment centres booked in fully. The way it works at the moment, what we're doing is we're rolling out the graduate assessment centres, because the graduate campaign launched ahead of the apprentice campaign. So I think the dates of assessment centres for apprentices will be March, April and May. So normally you get an email 2 to 3 weeks before the date. So hopefully that answers the question for you.
Yeah, I hope that helps, Michael. Just sit tight and yeah, hope you hear soon, basically. And just on applications, just on applications and the process and stuff. Have you got any hints and tips for the guys, you know, to sort of how they can sort of stand out in their application form or CVs or anything like that? Is there such thing as a perfect BT candidate, etc.?
I don't mind taking this one.
Go for it.
Yeah, so my biggest tip would always be research what the company's values more about BT themselves. If you're able to show an understanding about the company and just that extra passion about why you want to work for BT, I think that can definitely help you in especially the video interview and assessment center stages. I think that's what will prove very pivotal in terms of maybe picking yourself over someone else. Always just sort of remain yourself. Don't, I think, you know, these video interviews and assessment centers are not trying to catch you out. Any of the tests actually within the whole process. It's more so just to get an understanding about you. So yeah, definitely be yourself. Research about BT and sort of maybe, you know, try to take an unorthodox approach. Maybe how they're performing in the last few years. See sort of areas that maybe people might not pick up on and sort of mention it within the interview or assessment center that, you know, may impress the assessors.
Okay, fantastic. And just to add to that, did you want to add anything? Sorry,
I was just going to add as well. I mean, that's great advice. Just to add that with BT, we don't have a CV as part of the process. You mentioned CVs, but we don't actually have that as part of the early careers process. So it is a really straightforward application. So you're just completing those details, and then you'll be taken through to the process of the online testing and video interviews from there. So yeah, just following the advice given in terms of that, you know, be yourself and relax and know what you're applying for, because there's bound to be questions like, you know, what's interested you about BT? Why have you applied for such and such a role? So definitely, you know, be ready to fire back your answers with enthusiasm and that sort of thing.
Excellent. Hope that helps. And Imogen asks, and this carries on a little bit from the last question, is there anywhere sort of on your website or anywhere that people can do sort of mock tests, you know, for these assessment centres, or mock interview questions, anything like that?
So have a look at the BT careers site. There is some stuff on there that might help, but also I would look at Barclays Life Skills as well. Those have got some really good examples on there, but I think the more that you can practice with sort of live video interviews, the better, because we are in a video sort of interviewing climate in terms of, you know, you're not likely to be called in for a face-to-face interview. It's all going to be virtual. So yeah, just, I think, you know, it's a case of going on Google and just researching as much as you can. I know the job boards such as Indeed and Monster, LinkedIn as well, just really sort of, you know, play around and have a practice, because there's so much information out there. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to release specific details of our assessment centre, because obviously that is confidential and we can't have it out there in the marketplace, but definitely, you know, you can get yourself prepared by having a bit of practice on different websites and looking at different online tests.
Yeah, you head to Career Map as well. We've got tons of information on preparing for interviews and all sorts of stuff like that. So have a look there. Okay, cool. So we've had a couple of questions about, you know, people asking about progression after the apprenticeship. What opportunities are there, and do you actually get a job after the apprenticeship? Is one we get asked a lot.
I don't mind taking that one.
Great.
So from, like, I haven't finished my apprenticeship right now, but I have team members who have done an apprenticeship, and as long as you pass like the stuff that they, you know, that your qualifications and stuff, you will assimilate. And they've like gone on and they've become full-time, like, you know, team members within their roles. And I definitely want to explore different career paths. And every time I speak to people from, like, I don't know, HR or finance or stuff like that, everyone's been telling me that, like, once you step foot into the company, there's room to move about whenever you want and wherever you want. You're not just limited. So because I'm doing network engineering, I'm not just limited to that industry. which is great. I'm not sure how other companies would work, but I think the progression within BT is actually really good. Like, there's some directors who I've spoken to who actually started off as an engineer apprentice, and now they're directors, and it's amazing, to be honest.
Incredible. Pippa says, do you offer apprenticeships with BT TV studios?
That's always one that comes up, actually. It's kind of a popular place where everyone wants to be. It's like BT TV or BT Sport.
Yeah.
I think at the moment we haven't got anything live for them. We did recruit an apprentice for there last year, but yeah, watch this space. You never know what might come up.
Thanks for that. Ryan asks a question, what benefits are there with BT Group that Virgin Media can't offer? He might have looked at another company and their apprenticeship scheme, and he's sort of saying, what makes you guys sort of stand out from them?
So, I mean, I can't speak for Virgin Media. I don't know what they offer. All I can speak for is obviously what we offer. And I think, you know, our salaries and our benefits package is very competitive. I think being part of this vast organisation, I mean, we've got EE as part of the BT group and also Openreach. You get so many benefits, but I think what I would differentiate BT, if you are kind of looking at other companies, I think the people are fantastic. You know, everyone sort of goes out of their way to lend a helping hand. And I think especially if you're in this virtual environment, it can feel a little bit isolated if you haven't got that. So, I mean, I can probably, hopefully the apprentices on the call today will back me up on this, but yeah, you know, people here, whatever their job level, even the really sort of senior directors will definitely sort of make time for you and go out of their way. And like Amrita was saying, in terms of opportunities after your apprenticeship, I mean, this is a very huge organisation, so you can, you know, upskill and move into a different area. You can continue a longer career path. So in my experience, I've only been here 3.5 years, and there's been so many opportunities to progress in my role. You know, I moved from the professional team where I was recruiting senior strategists, and then decided I wanted to move into early careers recruitment. So those opportunities are certainly there. So hopefully that gives you a bit more information just to differentiate us. I'm not sure if anyone wants to add anything.
Just wanted to add one thing, just like a little statistic. BT is actually the 4th best provider of apprenticeships in the UK and #1 in the private sector. So I think that just says a lot about our apprenticeship scheme and how much we have to offer to our apprentices.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Yeah, we've had a couple of questions on work experience. Jess says, do you offer work experience so we can decide if BT is for us or before making an application for the apprenticeship?
We don't at the moment. I don't think in most parts of the business it is just very difficult, obviously because we are in a virtual world. I think some areas of the business are doing certain projects and looking at work experience, but there's nothing I can make you aware of today, unfortunately. But I would just keep an eye on the website, and if those sorts of opportunities do arise, then you'll be able to find them on there.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Just to add to that, Kate, yeah, you're right. We don't offer universal work experience at BT, but I think there is a small project that the BT Tower apprentices are running, where they are offering virtual work experience. So I think if you go on LinkedIn and find that post by one of the BT apprentices, you'll be able to find the contact details there and kind of reach out for that.
Okay.
Brilliant. Good one. Thank you.
Yeah, Bethany Hill says, I have a degree in business, but I want to get into cyber security. Is this something I could apply for with you guys?
Yep, you can do. I'm not sure how many live vacancies we have in cyber at the moment. So that one was released at the end of last year, I think. So we have roles in cyber security. So yeah, have a look at the BT Early Careers site. I'm sure Simon will mention to you sort of how to look at the job adverts. But yeah, have a look. It is something you could apply to for sure. You know, even if you've got a degree, you can apply. So yeah.
Perfect. Isaac says, so which university accredits your degrees?
So there's a long list of universities. Do you guys want to give your?
Yeah, definitely. I personally am doing the Digital and Technology Solutions degree, and this degree is accredited by the Institute for Apprenticeships and Technical Education. The uni that I'm doing it with is called Ravensbourne University London, and it's a full Bachelor's of Science degree. So it has full accreditation, and it's a proper degree, let's say. Other companies do the exact same degree with different universities, but our university for the London apprentices is Ravensbourne University.
Okay, thanks, guys. Mr. Spencer, he says, do you offer talks to schools, or do you have information I can download and pass on to my students?
Yeah, we do talks for schools, actually. So this event was organised by our recruitment marketing team, so they do set up different talks for all sorts of organisations, including schools, sixth forms, colleges, etc. I am not sure about what we can share, but we can speak, Simon, about that if you like.
Okay, cool. Well, I've just had an email from somebody, so they couldn't get on the chat facility. Just saying, I'd like to apply for a level 6 cybersecurity apprenticeship. Is Maths A level absolutely essential?
So I think you can have an equivalent. If you haven't got the Maths A level, there should be an equivalent you could have. But yeah, you will notice that some of the apprenticeships do have that sort of entrance criteria. So it's best to have a look on our website. If you do have a question, there should be an email address you can sort of ask that question directly to.
Okay, brilliant. Tanya says, to the apprentices, what's the best bit about working for BT, sort of in your own words, and what's the type of cool projects to get to work on?
I don't mind speaking on this. So I feel one of the best reasons about working for BT is, the people that you actually work with. I've worked with people that I'm only 20, and I've worked with people that have been here for 30, 40 years, and just seeing that experience and being able to learn from them is obviously really good. I feel once again, BT really take care of the employees really well, always supporting them in all sort of ways, especially during this time, where it's quite tough, working from home for some people. So a really supportive company and a range of different benefits. One of the projects that I'm currently working on is for a customer where we're sort of trying to sell a digital contact center. So I work in sales, of course, as business to business, and you have a big responsibility of obviously trying to sell to a customer. It's worth a lot of money, of course. So it's a big responsibility, and you work with a range of different people from different teams. So you're always going to be learning. So by the time you're done with your apprenticeship, you're going to be 3 years ahead of those people that have just finished their university. So always such a big learning curve on a day-to-day basis when you work with BT.
I think just to add on to that, in my experience, like I've been here for just over a year and a half, and I've been involved in so much in regards to apprenticeship. So not only just am I doing my apprenticeship, but I'm able to kind of volunteer for these type of events and give back and let you guys know and how my experience was. And I mean, I wish that I had this when I was in sixth form. I was completely clueless and I didn't know how apprenticeships were. And like through these opportunities, like there's been awards that I've been shortlisted for, and I've been, just the other day I was on the BT Today website and, on the front page, and it was such a surreal moment. And BT, they give these opportunities because they understand like how hard we work. And I can't even emphasize enough how much they kind of take care of their apprentices and their employees. And within my job role, like I would never have thought that I'd be, talking to some of my friends in India and, Argentina and America. And there's so much, it's not just in the UK, it's such a global company that we all just come together and like just chat really. Like there's never really an intense moment at work. I think like everyone kind of understands that it's pretty chill now, especially in the pandemic. But yeah, I love it.
Yeah, just to add, there's a range of different projects. So currently I was involved with the social media marketing team, where we were able to create like a lot of good content for the actual apprenticeships, and it got posted on the website. So there's always emails getting sent out to all of the employees about opportunities to get involved in. So such as today, I was always keen. And there's always opportunities on a consistent basis, and it gets you to sort of, I guess, meet a range of different people. And it's always good at such a young age to have those networks of contacts going forward. So yeah.
Thanks, guys. I suppose we're coming to the end of the presentation now. There's quite a few questions left to be answered. Is there anywhere the guys can go, sort of social media, anywhere that could maybe ask these questions to after the webinar?
So yeah, I mean, I'm on LinkedIn, so please feel free to link in with me. It's Kate Gregory, not Hayley, as I've come up, but yeah, you know, you can link in with me and ask. Also, if you are applying for roles on the BT Early Careers site, you can ask questions on there as well. So definitely have a look at the website, have a look at the roles that are still live. Keep checking in as well, because we do release new roles as time goes on. But if you do have any questions relating to the roles, you can ask them on there as well.
Brilliant. Have you guys got any sort of parting comments you'd like to leave with the guys today?
Just best of luck to you all. I think, yeah, just all the best.
Yeah, if you want like direct advice from us apprentices too, like feel free to add me on LinkedIn as well. My name's Amrita Tar. I'm always happy to answer questions about apprenticeships, really. Yeah,
likewise. And hopefully this presentation and this session did give you an insight into how apprenticeships are at BT, and hopefully you guys you know, ace those applications and get those roles that you're working really hard towards.
Brilliant. Thank you, guys. We'll just say that we've recorded this session, and what we'll be doing, we'll be hosting the video on careermap.co.uk. If you head to the CareerMap Live section, you can come back and refer to it at any point there. We'll also email out all the attendees a link to it, and some links to the BT website as well, to the vacancies, etc. So you can go and have a look there. And just to say, we've got a couple more webinars later today and tomorrow for the rest of Apprenticeship Week. So if you go to apprenticeshipweek.co.uk, you can go and register for any of them that you'd like, and we'd love to see you there. So just to say thanks again for coming, and thanks to the BT team, and stay safe. Take care.